Welcome back to Awaken Ministry. My name is Brother Josh, and I'm going to give the encouraging word for today. I want to encourage you about storms. We all go through storms, and we all go through trials and tests and tribulations, and you might be going through one right now. And I want to encourage you in the fact that the disciples went through a storm, and it distinctly talked about what happened in the middle of that storm, and I think we can take a lot from it. In Mark chapter 6, it says in verse 45, immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him into Bethsaida. And while he dismissed the crowd, and first I want to talk about, it's interesting that it says he made them go before him. So I truly believe this was a divine appointment, and you might be going through a divine appointment right now. You might be thinking that this storm is not of God, and it's not to benefit you in any way. But I want to tell you that these storms that we go through in life, the trials, these tribulations we go through, they have a purpose. And the purpose is evident when we keep our eyes focused on Jesus. Now, if you keep your eyes focused on the storm or the trial or the tribulation or whatever the case may be, well, then of course you're not going to see what God's trying to do with this storm and the purpose of this storm. But in verse 46, it says, after leaving them, he went up on a mountainside to pray. Verse 47, later that night, the boat was in the middle of the lake and he was alone on the land. In verse 48, he saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them. There's two things I want you to pay attention to in those verses. It says the boat was in the middle of the lake. Jesus is in the middle of this storm with you. Jesus is always in the middle with you. No matter where you're at, no matter what you're going through, he's always in the midst of whatever it is you're going through, whether it be on the mountaintop, whether it be in the valley, whether it be a trial, a test, a tribulation, or whether it be a storm of life that you're going through right now. I want to assure you and encourage you that Jesus is in the midst and in the middle of it with you. I also want to point out that it says Jesus saw them. Jesus sees you right now. He sees you in the storm. He sees you straining and toiling and getting frustrated and to the point of giving up. Jesus is there right now watching. He's always watching his children. He's always in the midst with them. And it's for your good. You see, it takes these storms and these trials and these tests that we go through to give us the faith that we need in order to persevere into the next storm or the next breakthrough or the next answered prayer that we receive later on. It's these moments in our Christian walk that we hold on to the tightest, because when we get through this storm and you get through this trial or this tribulation, you can look back on it when you go to the next one. And always know that he's in the midst. He's always in the middle of it with you, and he's always seeing you, and he's always watching you. Like a father watches his child that's walking around something dangerous or is about to get into something that he's been into himself, and he knows the end result is not for your good. He's always watching you as a father watches a child. So I want to encourage you in that. And I pray that you receive something from this, knowing that the storms that we're going through, the trials, the tests, and the tribulations, they have a purpose. And ultimately it's to build our faith, and ultimately it's to reassure us that he is always in the midst, he's always in the middle, and that he's watching us no matter what the case may be. And just to let you know, in the end of this, it says that Jesus got into the boat, and it says, and according to the Gospel of John, it says, and immediately the boat was on shore. It was supernatural. It said immediately the boat was on shore. So I want you to rest in assurance that the storm has a purpose, that Jesus is in the midst, and that he is always watching you. And when he gets you into the place where he needs you to be, immediately you'll see the breakthrough. So please be blessed in this, and I pray that you're encouraged by this, and I pray that you have an amazing day in every way, and come back for tomorrow and listen to a new encouraging word on Awaken Ministry. God bless you.